Welcome back to part 2 on this module on delegation, where we're going to be talking about situational leadership. And really in this part, we're going to be talking about and focusing in on how do we know when it's appropriate to delegate. And this concept called situational leadership really gives us an idea of when that might be. So this concept called situational leadership was developed by a man named Ken Blanchard, very, very well-known and respected man in the area of Christian leadership. Brilliant model that's been around for a few decades now. Situational leadership is really talking about knowing what leadership style you should use when leading a particular person in a particular situation or context, and recognizing that we should not lead all people the same way, and even an individual person we should lead differently depending on what their level of skill and competence and commitment is to a task. So we have to adjust our leadership style to the people we're leading. So leadership is situational, and the style that we use with leadership is situational. So Ken Blanchard put together this module that talks about this approach, that talks about 4 different styles of leadership that directly relate to the needs of the person you're leading. And those 4 areas are, if you can start on the bottom right box here that's red, the first style of leadership is called directing style. The second style of leadership is called coaching, that's in orange. And then the top left, the third style of leadership he refers to as a supporting leadership style. And the bottom left is when Blanchard talks about delegating and when it's appropriate to lead by delegating. And basically, these 4 styles of leadership progress depending on the capability of the person that you're working with, that you're leading, and their level of commitment and confidence to do the work. So as a person grows in their competence and their skills, and as they develop confidence and commitment to the task, you slowly adjust your leadership style accordingly. So there's a style of leadership that matches the development level of the individual you're leading. And remember that individuals always have certain things they're good at and certain things they're not. They have things that they're skilled at and certain things that they are not yet skilled at. So actually for any one individual, their development level is going to differ depending on what kind of task you're talking about. So on this particular type of task, you might need to use one style of leadership for that person, but for a different task, they're going to have a different developmental level for that task, and therefore you need to use a different style of leadership with that same person. So if we're good leaders, we need to learn how to lead situationally based upon the need of that person. So again, why is this called situational leadership? Because leaders really need to adjust their leadership style to fit the situation at the moment. For each task that you're asking someone to do or wanting someone to do, you as a leader must match the person's need for direction, for their confidence level. You need to match the amount of support they need. And that's what determines what leadership style you use with them. So if you think about a person who has no experience with a particular activity, and you're wanting them or needing them to do that activity, generally we start with a directing style on the bottom right there. If someone has no experience in doing something, we generally start by directing them, and we tell them exactly what to do. Do this, now do this, now do this, now do this, now do this. So it does not require the person to have much skill at all. They don't have to have confidence because you're just telling them what to do and they're following orders. And they don't even have to be very committed to the job except for following your instructions. Do this, then this, then this, then this. That is a directive style of leadership. And there is definitely a time and a place to be directive and to use that leadership style with people when they have no idea what to do or how to do it. You're more directive. However, as the person starts to develop some skills and experience and a little bit of confidence, you're going to slowly start to transition and use a coaching style with that person. And this is not the definition of coaching that we use for life coaching. This would be more of a coaching definition we'd use for a sports coach, where a sports coach is still going to give lots of direction and they're going to give a lot of encouragement too. And that's what Blanchard means by this type of coaching in his situational leadership model. Coaching means keep giving them input and direction of what to do and give them a lot of encouragement. So they're going to be continuing to develop their skill level, their competence, and their level of commitment and confidence as well as you coach them. And eventually, once they get better at the skill, You don't need to give them nearly as much direction or direct input and telling them what to do. You can become more supporting in your leadership style. So that's the third type of style here. And you primarily spend your time encouraging them and supporting them with whatever they need to get the task done. So they're continuing to get a little bit better at it, but they're really mostly developing their confidence and commitment to the task. And finally, when you feel like someone is really, their skills are pretty good, and their confidence is pretty good, and their commitment is pretty good, that's when you know you can switch into a delegating style of leadership. It says you have confidence in them that you can say, hey, can you take this particular activity and just run with it? I trust you with it. You can do it. And I don't need to follow up with you and give you encouragement every 3 hours. I don't need to give you a lot of support. I just know I can ask you to do this and you can run with it and do it. And if you have a question or problem, you'll come to me for help. But that's when you know you can delegate. They've got the competence they need, the commitment, and the confidence. So the skills of someone who would be considered a situational leader are, number one, they can set goals. They know what needs to get done and by when. Secondly, they can diagnose. They can assess any individual they work with and know what that person's level of competence, confidence, and commitment to that task or goal is, and therefore know what type of leadership style to use. So the third skill is they can match their leadership style with the needs and developmental level of that person they want to lead.